The birthday cake sat untouched on the dining room table, 25 candles melting into pink frosting, while my father cleared his throat for the third time. I should have known something was wrong when Mum actually baked instead of picking up grocery store sheet cake. Naomi, sweetheart, we need to discuss your future. My name is Naomi, and at 25, I'd heard this speech before. Usually, it involved Connor needing another loan, another chance, another miracle to save whatever brilliant business idea had crashed and burned that month. I straightened in my chair, the same wooden chair I'd sat in for every family meeting since I was 12. Your trust fund, Dad continued, not meeting my eyes. The one Grandma Bridget set up for you. My stomach dropped. What about it? Connor shifted beside me, suddenly fascinated by his phone. My golden boy brother, 3 years older and somehow still living at home while I'd been working 2 jobs since college. His latest startup, something about artisanal dog treats, had folded 6 months ago. Well, honey, Mum jumped in, her voice pitched too high. We had to make some difficult decisions. For the family, you spent it. The words came out flat, emotionless. 22 years of birthday money, Christmas gifts, and summer job savings that Grandma had promised would be mine when I turned 25. Gone. We invested it, Dad corrected, finally looking at me. Connor's ventures show real promise. The dog treat business just needed more time to... You gave my inheritance to Connor. I wasn't asking anymore. It's not like you need it right away, Mum said, reaching across to pat my hand. I pulled back. You're young, you're pretty. You'll find a nice husband who can take care of you. That's what women do. The casual dismissal hit like a slap. 25 years of being the responsible one. 25 years of covering Connor's credit card bills when he forgot to pay them. 25 years of listening to my parents praise his creativity while I balanced their checkbook and fixed their computer problems and drove them to doctor appointments because Connor was always too busy with his next big thing. Besides, Dad added, warming to his theme, Connor's the man of the family. He needs capital to establish himself. You can always marry rich if you're smart about it. Connor finally looked up from his phone, smirking. Come on, Naomi, don't be dramatic. It's not like you were going to do anything important with the money anyway. Something cold settled in my chest. The same feeling I'd had when Grandma died 2 years ago and whispered something in my ear at the funeral that I'd thought was just grief talking. I reached into my purse and pulled out a manila envelope, sliding it across the table toward my parents. You might want to read this before you keep talking. Dad frowned, opening the envelope. His face went white as he scanned the documents inside. Mom leaned over, her mouth falling open. What is it? Connor demanded, grabbing the papers. What the hell is this? That, I said, standing up slowly, is the deed to this house, and your eviction notice. The silence stretched like a rubber band about to snap. This is impossible, Dad sputtered. This house is in my name, has been for 30 years. Actually, it's been in my name since last month. Grandma left very specific instructions with her lawyer. She knew exactly what kind of people you were. Mum's face crumpled. Naomi, you can't be serious. This is our home. Your home. Was my home until you decided my future was worth less than Connor's pipe dreams. I picked up my purse, leaving the birthday cake untouched. You have 30 days to find somewhere else to live. Connor shot to his feet, his chair scraping against the hardwood. You can't do this. I'll fight it in court. You'll what? I turned back at the doorway, feeling powerful for the first time in my life. Sue me with what money? The money you stole from me? Dad's voice shook with rage. After everything we've done for you, this is how you repay us? I almost laughed. Everything you've done for me? Like what, exactly? Paying for Connor's college while I worked my way through community college? Co-signing his apartment lease while I lived in a studio above a laundromat? Or maybe you mean stealing my inheritance to fund his latest failure? The truth hung in the air like smoke. 25 years of being invisible, of being the backup plan, of being told my dreams mattered less because I wasn't born with the right chromosomes. Happy birthday to me, I said, and walked out the door. My phone started buzzing before I even reached my car. Connor's name flashed on the screen 8 times before I finally answered. You psychotic bitch! You can't just... I hung up and blocked his number. Then Mum's, then Dad's. The silence felt incredible. The silence. My apartment was a cramped 1-bedroom in the worst part of town, but it was mine. I'd been paying rent here for 3 years while Connor lived rent-free in his childhood bedroom, and tonight it felt like a palace. I poured myself a glass of wine and waited. The call came at exactly 9 p.m. Ms. Henderson, this is Michelle Sutton. Grandma's lawyer had a voice like gravel and steel. I'd met her exactly once at the funeral when she'd pressed her business card into my hand and told me to call when I was ready. They found the papers, I said. I assumed they would. How did they take it? About as well as you'd expect. Connor threatened to sue. Michelle's laugh was sharp. Let him try. Your grandmother was very thorough. The house has been in trust for you since you turned 18. She just waited until now to execute the transfer. I sank onto my couch, still processing. Why didn't she tell me? She wanted to see what kind of person you'd become, whether you'd stand up for yourself or keep letting them walk all over you. Michelle paused. She was proud of you, you know. Said you were the only one in that family worth a damn. My throat tightened. Grandma Bridget had been the only one who ever really saw me. While my parents fawned over Connor's latest scheme, she'd sit with me in her kitchen, teaching me to balance a checkbook and asking about my dreams. There's more, Michelle continued. The trust includes her savings account. About $200,000. I nearly dropped the phone. What? She lived very simply, invested wisely. It's all yours along with the house. She wanted you to have options. Options. The word felt foreign. I'd never had options before. There's one condition, Michelle added. You can't sell the house for 5 years. She wanted to make sure you weren't just doing this for quick cash. I'm not. Good. Because your family's going to make this ugly. Are you prepared for that? Before I could answer, someone started pounding on my door. Heavy fists, angry voices. Naomi, open this door right now. Dad's voice boomed through the thin walls. They're here, I whispered to Michelle. Don't let them in. Record everything. I'll be in touch tomorrow. The pounding got louder. My neighbours were going to call the cops if this kept up. I opened the door with the chain still latched. Dad's face was purple with rage, Connor behind him looking like he wanted to break something. Mum stood to the side, mascara streaked down her cheeks. We need to talk, Dad said through gritted teeth. We already talked. You have 30 days. Naomi, please. Mum stepped forward. This is insane. We're family. Families don't do this to each other. You're right, I said. Families don't steal from each other either. Connor shoved past Dad. You want to play hardball? Fine. I know things about you, Naomi. Things that would ruin your precious reputation. I almost laughed. What reputation? The one where I'm the responsible daughter who cleans up everyone else's messes. Go ahead, Connor. Tell the world how terrible I am. You think you're so smart, he snarled, but you have no idea what you're dealing with. The house has problems, big problems. You'll be bankrupt within a year. What problems? Dad grabbed Connor's arm, shooting him a warning look. Nothing you need to worry about. But Connor was too angry to stop. The foundation's cracked. Has been for months. We've been getting estimates, and it's going to cost... Shut up, Dad hissed. Too late. The pieces clicked together. The mysterious contractors who'd been coming by the house, the hushed phone conversations, the reason they'd been so desperate for my trust fund money. "How much?" I asked. Mum started crying harder. 50,000, maybe more. We didn't know how to tell you. "So you decided to steal from me instead of being honest." "We were protecting you," Dad exploded. "You think we wanted to burden you with this?" "No, you wanted to burden me with paying for it, with my money." I started to close the door, but Connor stuck his foot in the gap. "This isn't over," he said. "I'll fight this. I'll prove Grandma wasn't in her right mind when she signed those papers." Good luck with that. She had a full mental evaluation done by 2 different doctors before she signed anything. Michelle made sure of it. Connor's face went white. Behind him, Dad sagged against the doorframe like someone had let all the air out of him. 30 days, I repeated and slammed the door. The locksmith arrived at 8 a.m. sharp, just as I'd requested. Emma pulled up right behind his van, 2 cups of coffee in hand and a grin on her face. "I can't believe you actually did it," she said, handing me a latte. "The whole neighborhood's talking. Let them talk." I watched the locksmith work on the front door. "What are they saying?" "Mrs. Patterson thinks you've lost your mind. The Johnsons are taking bets on how long before your parents call the police." Emma sipped her coffee. "Nadine asked me to give you this." She handed me a folded piece of paper. I recognized Nadine's handwriting immediately. We'd been friends growing up before my family drama had driven a wedge between us. "Your brother owes money to some very bad people. Be careful. N." "What does that mean?" Emma asked, reading over my shoulder. Before I could answer, a car door slammed across the street. Mum marched toward us, still in her bathrobe, her hair a mess. "Naomi Elizabeth Henderson, what do you think you're doing?" "Changing my locks. It's my house now." "This is ridiculous," Mum's voice cracked. "Your father didn't sleep all night. His blood pressure is through the roof. Do you want to kill him?" The locksmith glanced up nervously. I pulled out a 20 and handed it to him. "Take a coffee break. There's a Starbucks 2 blocks down." He couldn't get out of there fast enough. "Mum, you had 25 years to treat me like family. You chose Connor instead. Every single time." "That's not true." "Really? When I graduated valedictorian, you missed the ceremony because Connor had a job interview. When I got promoted to assistant manager, you spent dinner talking about Connor's new girlfriend. When I—" "Stop it!" Mum pressed her hands to her ears. "You're being cruel." "I'm being honest. There's a difference." Emma stepped closer, her phone out. "I'm recording this, just so you know." Mum whirled on her. "This is family business, Emma. It has nothing to do with you. Naomi's my best friend. It has everything to do with me." Emma's voice was ice cold. And unlike some people, I actually care about her feelings. I care about my daughter. "Which one?" I asked, "because you've got a funny way of showing it." Mum's face crumpled. She sank onto the porch steps, sobbing. "I don't understand how we got here. We love you, Naomi. We've always loved you. You love the idea of me. The dutiful daughter who never complains, never asks for anything, never rocks the boat. But the real me, the one with dreams and opinions and needs, you've never even tried to know her." A black sedan pulled up to the curb. Connor got out, followed by a man I didn't recognize. Tall, expensive suit, the kind of smile that never reached his eyes. "That's Jared," Emma whispered. "Connor's business partner." I'd heard the name, but never met him. He looked like every sleazy entrepreneur who'd ever pitched a pyramid scheme on late-night TV. "Naomi," Connor called out, all fake cheerfulness. "We need to talk." "No, we don't." Jared stepped forward, extending his hand. "I'm Jared Walker. I've heard so much about you." I didn't shake his hand. Wish I could say the same. His smile faltered slightly. "Look, I think there's been a misunderstanding here. Your family's going through a rough patch, but Connor and I have some exciting opportunities coming up. If you could just be patient. Patient? I laughed. I've been patient for 25 years. I'm done. The house needs work, Connor said desperately. Major work. You can't afford it on your salary. Good thing I don't have to rely on my salary anymore. Connor's eyes narrowed. What's that supposed to mean? It means Grandma left me more than just the house. The colour drained from his face. Jared's fake smile disappeared entirely. How much more? Mum whispered. Enough. Jared pulled Connor aside, whispering urgently. I caught fragments. Didn't know. Changes, everything. Need to reassess. What's he talking about? I asked Connor. Nothing. Business stuff. But his voice shook, and sweat beaded on his forehead despite the cool morning air. The locksmith returned, finishing his work with professional efficiency. He handed me 3 sets of new keys and packed up his tools. All done, Mum. Old locks are in the van if you want them. Keep them. As his van pulled away, Jared stepped closer. Ms. Henderson, perhaps we could discuss this privately. I think you'll find our proposal very interesting. What proposal? Connor's new venture. We're looking for investors and family should stick together, don't you think? Emma snorted. Are you seriously trying to con her right now? It's not a con, Jared said smoothly. It's an opportunity, a chance for Naomi to help her family while securing her own financial future. By giving you my money? By investing in a sure thing. I looked at Connor, who couldn't meet my eyes. At Mum, still crying on the porch steps. At Jared, with his predatory smile and expensive suit. Get off my property, I said quietly. Naomi, Connor started, all of you, get off my property. Now! 3 days later, Emma showed up at my apartment with a laptop bag and a determined expression. We're going full detective mode, she announced, setting up her computer on my kitchen table. I've been digging into your family's finances and, girl, it's worse than we thought. How much worse? She pulled up a spreadsheet that made my stomach drop. Your parents have been living on credit cards for 2 years. The mortgage is 3 months behind. And look at this. She clicked to another tab showing bank statements. Your mum's been pawning jewellery. Her wedding ring, that pearl necklace your grandma gave her, even your dad's watch collection. How did you get these? Your mum uses the same password for everything. Your birthday. Emma's voice was flat. Which is ironic, considering. I stared at the numbers. Thousands of dollars in debt, all hidden behind a facade of middle-class respectability. There's more, Emma said, clicking to another file. Connor's business partner, Jared, he's been busy. The document showed a web of shell companies, fake invoices and money transfers that made my head spin. He's been embezzling from Connor's investors, Emma explained, creating fake expenses, inflating costs, skimming off the top. Connor's not just a failure, he's been getting robbed blind. Does Connor know? That's the million-dollar question. Either he's the world's biggest idiot, or he's in on it. My phone buzzed. Michelle's name appeared on the screen. Naomi, we have a problem, she said without preamble. Your family filed an emergency injunction to stop the eviction. They're claiming your grandmother was mentally incompetent when she signed the trust documents. Can they do that? They can try. We'll fight it, but it means court dates, depositions, publicity. Are you ready for that? Before I could answer, someone knocked on my door. Emma and I exchanged glances. I'll call you back, I told Michelle. Through the peephole, I saw Nadine standing in the hallway, looking nervous. Hey, she said when I opened the door. Can we talk? I hadn't spoken to Nadine in over a year. Our friendship had imploded when my parents accused her of being a bad influence, after she'd called them out for their treatment of me at a neighbourhood barbecue. Come in, I said. She glanced at Emma's laptop setup. Doing some research? Something like that. Nadine sat down heavily. Look, I know things have been weird between us, but I need to tell you something about Connor. What about him? He's in deep with some loan sharks, the kind who break kneecaps when you don't pay up. She pulled out her phone, showing me a photo. I saw these guys at your parents' house yesterday. The photo showed two men in dark suits, standing on my family's front porch. They looked like they'd stepped out of a mob movie. How much does he owe? Emma asked. 50 grand, maybe more. Nadine's voice was grim. My cousin works for a collection agency. He says Connor's been bouncing checks all over town. And my parents know about this. They co-signed for some of it. That's why they're so desperate for money. The pieces clicked together. The foundation repairs, the stolen trust fund, the mounting desperation. It wasn't just about Connor's failed businesses. It was about keeping him alive. There's something else, Nadine continued. Jared's been asking questions about you around town, about your job, your finances, your relationship status. It's creepy. Emma's fingers flew over her keyboard. I'm running a background check on him right now. Already did, Nadine said. He's got a record: fraud, embezzlement, identity theft. He's been using Connor as a front for his scams. My phone rang again. This time it was a number I didn't recognize. Hello? Is this Naomi Henderson? The voice was rough, unfamiliar. Who's asking? Someone who's very interested in your brother's debt situation. We need to talk. My blood turned to ice. I don't know what you're talking about. Sure you do, sweetheart. Your family owes us money. A lot of money. And since you're the one with the house and the inheritance, you're the one we're going to collect from. Emma grabbed the phone from my hand and hung up. We need to call the police, she said. No. I stood up, pacing to the window. That's exactly what they want. Panic, chaos, me making desperate decisions. Naomi, these people are dangerous. So am I. I turned back to face them. Connor made this mess. Jared's been stealing from him. My parents enabled all of it. And now they want me to pay for their mistakes? What are you going to do? Nadine asked. I looked at Emma's laptop screen, at the evidence of years of lies and theft and manipulation, at the photo of the loan sharks on my family's doorstep, at the trust documents that made me the target of everyone's desperation. I'm going to let them destroy each other, I said, and then I'm going to watch it all burn down. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. 24 hours to call us back. Don't make this harder than it has to be. I deleted the message and smiled. The sound of breaking glass woke me at 2 a.m. I grabbed the baseball bat I'd started keeping by my bed and crept toward the living room, my heart hammering. A figure was hunched over Emma's laptop, frantically clicking through files. In the dim light from the street lamp, I recognized Connor's profile. Looking for something? I flicked on the lights. He spun around, his face wild with panic and desperation. Papers were scattered across the floor. My drawers pulled open, cushions thrown everywhere. Where are they? He demanded. Where are what? The documents, the bank statements. I know you have copies of everything. I kept the bat raised. How did you get in here? Fire escape? Your landlord's a drunk who doesn't fix the window locks? Connor stepped closer, and I could smell alcohol on his breath. Naomi, you don't understand. These people will kill me. Maybe you should have thought of that before you borrowed money from loan sharks. I didn't have a choice. Jared said it was temporary just to cover some cash flow issues. He said the business was about to take off. And you believed him? Connor's laugh was bitter. You think I'm stupid, don't you? Just like everyone else. I think you're desperate. And desperate people make terrible decisions. He lunged for the laptop. I swung the bat, missing his head by inches. It crashed into the wall, leaving a dent in the drywall. Jesus, Naomi, are you insane? Get out, now. I can't, his voice cracked. They came to the house again today. Mum's terrified. Dad's having chest pains. They said if I don't pay by Friday, they're going to start breaking things. Important things. Like what? Like Mom's fingers. The words hit me like a physical blow. Whatever anger I felt toward my parents, I didn't want them hurt. How much do you owe? 75,000? With interest. I stared at him. $75,000? It started smaller, but the interest compounds daily and there are fees and penalties. Stop. I held up my hand. Just stop talking. My phone rang. Emma's name flashed on the screen. Naomi, I just got a weird call. Someone asking about you, about where you live. I think... The line went dead. Connor saw my face change. What's wrong? They have Emma. I grabbed my keys and headed for the door. Where are you going? To fix this. Naomi, wait! Connor followed me into the hallway. You can't just... Can't what? Can't clean up your mess? Can't save everyone like I always do? I spun around to face him. That's what you're counting on, isn't it? That I'll cave, pay your debts, let you off the hook one more time. I never asked you to... Oh, you didn't have to ask. You just assumed. Just like Mom and Dad assumed. Just like everyone always assumes that Naomi will handle it. We reached the parking garage. Connor grabbed my arm as I unlocked my car. Please, I'm begging you. These aren't normal creditors. They hurt people for fun. I shook him off. Then maybe you shouldn't have borrowed from them. I was trying to save the family. The house, Mum and Dad's retirement, everything was falling apart. Jared said he had investors lined up, that we just needed bridge financing. Jared's been stealing from you, Connor. For months, maybe years. His face went white. That's impossible. Emma found the records, shell companies, fake invoices, money transfers to offshore accounts. He's been using you as a front for his scams. Connor leaned against my car, looking like he might throw up. Oh, God! Oh, God! What have I done? You trusted the wrong person. Again. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Your friend is fine. For now. Warehouse on 5th Street. Come alone. 1 hour. I showed Connor the message. This is your fault. All of it. I'll come with you. No. You'll stay here and call the police. The police can't help. These guys own half the cops in this city. Then call Michelle. Tell her everything about Jared, about the loans, about the threats. Get it all on record. I got in my car. Connor knocked on the window. Naomi, I'm sorry. For everything. I know I screwed up. I know I hurt you, but please don't do this alone. I've been alone for 25 years, Connor. I'm used to it. I drove away, leaving him standing in the garage. In my rearview mirror, I saw him pull out his phone, finally making the call he should have made months ago. The warehouse district was dark and empty, exactly the kind of place where bad things happen to stupid people who walked into obvious traps. I parked across the street and checked my phone one more time. No messages from Emma, no missed calls, just the address and a countdown timer that had started automatically. 47 minutes remaining. I got out of the car and walked toward whatever was waiting for me in the shadows. The warehouse door was unlocked. Inside, a single light bulb hung from the ceiling, casting harsh shadows across empty concrete floors. Emma sat tied to a chair in the centre of the space, duct tape over her mouth, her eyes wide with fear. 2 men flanked her, the same ones from Nadine's photo. The taller one stepped forward, his smile cold and practiced. Ms. Henderson, right on time. Let her go. This is between you and my brother. Actually, it's between us and whoever's going to pay. Your brother's broke, your parents are broke, but you... He gestured around the empty space. You just inherited a nice chunk of change. I don't negotiate with kidnappers. Smart lady. So let's skip the negotiation and go straight to the payment. 75,000. Cash. Tonight. Emma made muffled sounds behind the tape, shaking her head frantically. I don't have that kind of cash lying around. But you have access to it. Bank transfers, wire transfers, whatever it takes. The shorter man pulled out a tablet showing me a banking app. We've done our homework. My phone buzzed. A text from Connor. Police won't help. Michelle's on her way. Don't do anything stupid. Too late for that. Even if I wanted to pay Connor's debt, banks don't process transfers this large at night. It would take days. Then we'll wait. The tall man nodded to his partner, who produced a second chair. All of us, together, until the money clears. That's kidnapping. Federal charges. That's business. He sat down across from me. Your brother made promises he couldn't keep. Used our money for his little ventures. Now it's time to pay up. What about Jared, Connor's partner? He's the one who's been stealing. Both men exchanged glances. The shorter one laughed. Jared Walker? You think this is about Jared? He's been embezzling from Connor's businesses. Emma found the records. Lady, Jared Walker works for us. Has for 3 years. You think your idiot brother just happened to find a business partner willing to front him money. We set that up. The room spun. What? Connor was perfect. Desperate, stupid, and from a respectable family. We needed someone to launder money through fake businesses. Jared made sure Connor got just enough success to keep trying, just enough failure to need more loans. Emma's eyes went wide. She'd heard something we hadn't. The whole thing was a setup, the tall man continued. The dog treat business, the app development, the consulting firm, all fronts for our operations. Connor was never supposed to succeed. He was supposed to fail and owe us money. But why target my family specifically? Your grandmother's reputation. Bridget Adams was known for being smart with money. We figured her family would be good for the debt if Connor couldn't pay. My phone rang. Michelle's name appeared on the screen. Answer it, the tall man said. Speakerphone. I clicked accept. Michelle? Naomi, where are you? Connor told me what happened. The police are... I'm fine, just handling some family business. Don't do anything rash. I've got news about the court case. Your parents' injunction was denied. The house is legally yours, free and clear. The tall man's smile widened. Even better. A house is excellent collateral. Michelle, I need you to do something for me. Transfer 50,000 from my account to... I looked at the shorter man, who held up the tablet showing account information. To the account on the screen Connor's sending you. Naomi, no, don't. Do it. Now. I can't authorize that large a transfer without... You're my lawyer. I'm giving you explicit instructions. Transfer the money. There was a long pause. It's done. But, Naomi... I hung up. 50,000, I said. That's all you get. The debt is 75. The debt is Connor's. I just bought Emma's freedom and my family's safety. Take it or leave it. The tall man studied me for a long moment. You're tougher than your brother. I'm smarter than my brother. He nodded to his partner, who cut Emma's restraints. She ripped off the tape and gasped. Naomi, you shouldn't have... It's done. I helped her stand. Can you walk? She nodded, rubbing her wrists where the rope had cut into her skin. This doesn't end here, the tall man said as we headed for the door. Your brother still owes 25,000 plus interest. Then collect it from him, or from Jared. I'm out. Family doesn't work that way. I stopped at the door and turned back. You're right. Family doesn't work that way. But Connor stopped being family the day he put my best friend in danger to cover his own mistakes. Outside, Emma collapsed against my car, shaking. Are you okay? I asked. I recorded everything, she whispered, pulling a small device from her shoe. The whole conversation. About Jared, about the money laundering, all of it. I stared at the recorder. You brilliant, crazy woman. Now we call the real police, the FBI, and we burn this whole thing down. The FBI field office was buzzing with activity at 6 a.m. Agent Sarah Martinez listened to Emma's recording twice, her expression growing darker with each revelation. This is good, she said, ejecting the device. Really good. We've been tracking this organization for 2 years, but we could never get inside their operation. What happens now? I asked. Now we set up a sting. Your brother's going to help us. Connor won't cooperate. He's too scared. Agent Martinez smiled grimly. He doesn't have a choice. We have him on money laundering charges. He can help us or spend the next decade in federal prison. My phone had been buzzing non-stop since we'd arrived. 17 missed calls from my parents, 12 from Connor, and 3 from numbers I didn't recognize. They know something's wrong, Emma said, looking at my phone screen. Let them sweat. Agent Martinez handed me a business card. We'll need you to go home. Act normal. Don't let on that you've talked to us. Can you do that? Define normal. Don't pay any more of your brother's debts. Don't change your routine. And whatever you do, don't confront Jared directly. Too late for that. My phone rang, Jared's name flashing on the screen. Answer it, Agent Martinez said. We're recording. I clicked accept. Hello, Jared. Naomi. Thank God. I've been trying to reach you all morning. Connor told me what happened with Emma. Are you both okay? His concern sounded genuine. If I hadn't known he was a criminal, I might have believed it. We're fine. Just shaken up. This is exactly what I was afraid of. Connor's gotten in over his head with some very dangerous people, but I think I can help. How? I have investors interested in buying out Connor's debt. Clean slate, fresh start. All I need is for you to sign some paperwork transferring the house as collateral. Agent Martinez shook her head vigorously. I don't think that's a good idea, Jared. Naomi, these people don't just go away. They'll keep coming after your family until they get their money. This is the only way to protect everyone. I need time to think about it. We don't have time. They're planning to escalate things. Connor's life is in danger. The line went dead. Agent Martinez was already on her radio, coordinating with other agents. They're moving faster than we expected, she said. We need to accelerate the timeline. My phone rang again. This time, it was Mom. Naomi, sweetheart, where are you? Connor came home this morning covered in blood. He says some men beat him up, that they're coming for all of us. Is he okay? He's at the hospital. Broken ribs, concussion. The doctors say he's lucky to be alive. Mum's voice cracked. Please, honey, I know we've made mistakes, but we're still family. We need you. Agent Martinez nodded. I was supposed to play along. I'll be right there. Naomi, there's something else. Reporters called this morning. Someone leaked the story about the trust fund, about you evicting us. It's going to be in tomorrow's paper. My stomach dropped. What story? Local woman evicts parents on birthday. They have quotes from neighbours, details about the family finances. It makes you look... She trailed off. Like what? Like a monster. I hung up and looked at Agent Martinez. This wasn't part of the plan. Media attention complicates things, but it might work in our favour. Jared and his associates will want to resolve this quickly before it draws more scrutiny. Emma grabbed my arm. Naomi, you can't go to the hospital. It's too dangerous. I have to. If I don't show up, they'll know something's wrong. Agent Martinez handed me a small device. Wear this. We'll be listening to everything. The hospital parking lot was crawling with news vans. Reporters spotted me immediately, shoving microphones in my face as I tried to get inside. Ms. Henderson, is it true you evicted your elderly parents? Did you really steal your brother's inheritance? How do you respond to claims that you're tearing your family apart? I pushed through them without comment, but the damage was done. By tonight, my face would be on every local news station, painted as the villain in a family drama gone wrong. Connor looked terrible. Black eyes, bandaged ribs, his left arm in a sling. But he was alive. Naomi, he whispered when I entered his room. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for everything. Save it. The FBI knows everything. His face went white. You called the feds? Emma recorded the whole conversation at the warehouse. About Jared, about the money laundering, all of it. Jesus Christ, Naomi. Do you know what you've done? These people have connections everywhere. If they find out... The door opened. Jared walked in, carrying flowers and wearing his practiced smile. How's our patient? He asked cheerfully. Then his eyes met mine and the smile faltered. He knew. The hospital room went dead silent. Jared's fake smile disappeared as he looked between Connor's terrified face and my calm expression. Well, he said, setting the flowers on the bedside table. This is awkward. Not really, I replied, just honest for once. Connor tried to sit up, wincing. Jared, man, I can explain. No need. Jared pulled out his phone. I think we all understand each other perfectly now. He started typing. I knew he was alerting his associates, calling in backup or worse. The wire Agent Martinez had given me felt like it was burning against my skin. You know what's funny? I said, keeping my voice steady. Connor actually believed you cared about him. Even after everything, he thought you were friends. We are friends. Good friends don't rat each other out to federal agents. Connor's face crumpled. You knew. This whole time, you knew. I knew the moment your sister walked into that warehouse like she owned the place. Nobody's that calm unless they have backup. Jared pocketed his phone. The question is, what do we do about it? The door opened again. This time it was Agent Martinez, flanked by two other agents in tactical gear. Jared Walker, you're under arrest for money laundering, racketeering, and conspiracy to commit fraud. Jared didn't run, didn't resist. He just laughed. You think this ends with me? I'm small time compared to the people I work for. They'll replace me before I'm even processed. Maybe, Agent Martinez said, cuffing him. But you won't be around to see it. As they led Jared away, he turned back to Connor. Your debt doesn't disappear just because I'm gone. They'll still come for you. For all of you. The door slammed shut. Connor started hyperventilating. Naomi, what have we done? They're going to kill us all. No, they're not. I sat down beside his bed. Because you're going to testify. You're going to tell the FBI everything you know about their operation. And then you're going into witness protection. I can't. I'm not brave like you. You don't have to be brave. You just have to be honest. For once in your life, just tell the truth. My parents arrived an hour later, looking haggard and defeated. The news vans had followed them, turning the hospital into a circus. The reporters are saying terrible things about you, Mum whispered, hugging me tightly. I told them they were wrong, that you're a good daughter. A little late for that, don't you think? Dad cleared his throat. Naomi, we owe you an apology. A big one. We've been unfair to you for years, and we're sorry. Sorry doesn't fix 25 years of favoritism. No, it doesn't. He sat down heavily. But maybe we can start over. Try to be better. The house is still mine. I said quietly. That doesn't change. We know. Michelle explained everything. We're moving in with your Aunt Carol until we can find our own place. Mom squeezed my hand. We don't expect forgiveness. We just hope that someday, maybe, we can earn it. 3 weeks passed in a blur of depositions, court hearings, and media attention. The story had gone national. Trust fund, heiress exposes family crime ring. And I couldn't go anywhere without being recognised. Emma and I were having coffee at our usual spot when Nadine approached our table. Mind if I sit? She asked. Please. She looked tired but relieved. The neighbourhood's finally quiet again. No more reporters, no more federal agents. Just normal, suburban drama. How are my parents doing? Better than expected. Your mum's been volunteering at the women's shelter. Your dad's teaching financial literacy classes at the community centre. It's like they're trying to make up for lost time. And Connor? Relocated. New identity, new life. Agent Martinez says he's doing well in the program. I nodded. It was the best outcome we could have hoped for. There's something else, Nadine continued. The city wants to buy your grandmother's house. They're planning to turn it into a resource centre for families in crisis. Financial counselling, legal aid, that kind of thing. How much are they offering? She slid a paper across the table. The number made me blink. That's generous. It's what the property's worth. Plus, they want to name it after your grandmother, the Bridget Adams Family Centre. I looked at Emma, who was grinning. What do you think? I think your grandma would love it. I signed the papers that afternoon. The money would go into a trust fund, a real one this time, to support the centre's operations. Standing in front of the house one last time, I felt something I hadn't experienced in years. Peace. The weight of family expectations, of old resentments, of carrying everyone else's burdens, had finally lifted. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Thank you for giving me a second chance. See. I deleted it without responding. Some chapters needed to stay closed. Emma linked her arm through mine as we walked away. So, what's next? Whatever I want, I said. For the first time in my life, whatever I want.